Hi guys, welcome to Into the Word. God bless your hearts. Thank you for joining me once again. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Help us spread the message of hope, okay? God bless your hearts. We want to look at worry again, okay? This is so good. I love this passage of scripture. It is jam-packed. So we're looking at Philippians chapter 4 verse 6, and we're going to take out the very first phrase, the very first sentence, the very first few words that are mentioned in that passage, okay? So Paul says, do not worry, okay? I'm looking at it from the Good News Bible, okay? This is so good. Paul says, do not worry. But many of us worry. Many of us worry. We worry about our health. If we're sick, we worry about our health, okay? And what do? What is it to worry? Worry is a way of thinking, okay? Worry is a way of thinking. What do we think when we're in a bad health situation, when we are sick? We think, will we get better? We think, can we get better? We think, has Jesus healed us? Sometimes even. We think, will we ever be able to do our daily things, because we could be bedbound, for instance. So we think, will we ever be able to walk? These are the things that we think, and that is worry. Worry is thinking in a negative way about your situation. You know the old saying, I said it in my other messages, that sometimes we look at the glass and we see the glass half empty rather than half full. So we look at it from a negative point of view, and that is worry. Worry is being negative about your situation. Worry is thinking in a negative way about your situation. But the Bible tells us not to worry. So what is the Bible telling us to do? Not to worry, not to have that thought process in your mind. Don't have those thoughts. And you might say to me, Philip, I can't help it. Well, I never used to be able to help it either. I used to think about things in a negative way all the time for many years. How will I make this work? How can I do that? Well, what if this happens? Then that will happen. And it was worry. It was a wrong way of thinking. It was thinking in the way that the Bible has instructed us not to think, okay? But you can help it. You can help it. If you couldn't do it, if you couldn't think differently, the Bible wouldn't tell us to think differently. The Bible tells us in the book of Romans, renew your minds. What is Paul saying when he says renew your minds? He's telling us to have another thought. He's telling us to think differently, so we can help the way that we think, okay? We can't say we can't help it. We can't say that, well, I can't help it but think that way. We can change the way that we think. The Bible also says in Proverbs, be careful how you think. So the Bible is telling us to watch our thoughts, so we can change the way that we think. If we look further down in this passage, Paul says, fill your minds with thoughts of good things, or fill your mind with good thoughts. So if the Bible is telling us to think a particular way, that means we can think in a better way. We can think in a way that is productive. We can think in a way that is constructive. We can think in a way that is positive. Now the problem is, it doesn't happen overnight. The problem is, you can't change the way that you think overnight. It will take time and energy and effort. It's something that you have to train your mind to do. You have to train your mind, which is what I'm doing. I'm training my mind to think in a better way. What are the thoughts that I'm having? If I feel unwell, I am thinking of the thought of Jesus is making me better, rather than thinking, oh no, I feel ill, I feel ill, I feel ill, I feel dreadful, how can I do this? I can't get out of my bed. I can't do that because I can't get out of my bed. Rather than thinking like that, I am thinking that, you know what, Father, I thank you for the stripes of Jesus. I'm having a different thought pattern to which I would have before. See, when you have a different thought pattern, the Father is able to work in that. But when you have that thought pattern of, I can't get any better, I don't know if I will survive, I don't know if I will walk again, I don't know if I will hear properly, I don't know if I will see properly, I don't know if I can do this because I'm so ill, I don't know if I will survive, I don't know if I will ever be any better, I'm always going to be sick, I'm always going to be ill, I'm always going to be bedbound. When we have those thoughts, Father can't work in that. How can he? How can he? He can't. He is telling us to have another thought. So we can flip that, we can turn it around, but it will take time, it will take energy, and it will take effort. That's what renewing the mind is. The renewing of the mind doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a week. It doesn't happen in a month. It takes years, okay? It takes years and years and years, but we can do it. If we could not do it, the Bible would not have told us to do it, but it did. It's achievable. We can think another way. We can think in a better way. We can have better thoughts in our minds, but it takes time, as I said, and it takes energy, and it takes effort, and you can begin to do that. So you have to train yourself to think another way. So we have to train ourselves to see the glass half full rather than half empty, okay? It's a new way of thinking. It's not natural. The natural tendency is to be negative. The natural tendency for us when we go through a difficult situation in our lives is to be negative about it. So we ring our friends and we ring our families and we ring everyone we can. We text everyone we can and we say we're going through this awful situation. That is the natural tendency that we have. But the Bible wants us to have another tendency. The Bible wants us to change that natural tendency and have a better tendency. The Bible wants us to say and to think, God, I thank you that you will help me. God, I thank you that you will come to my aid. God, I thank you that you are with me. So when we think that way, the Father jumps into our situation. He can help us in our situation, and it might just be something as simple as, you know what, my friend, you need to go over there rather than over here. You hear the voice of God, you hear direction, and you hear his leading, okay? Because we have a relationship with the Father, and he loves us and we love him. So when we have peace in our minds, see, having a better way of thinking, having a way of thinking that is productive and constructive and positive will give us peace in our minds. It will give us peace in our minds. And when we have peace in our minds and our hearts, we can hear the voice of the Father, okay? We can hear him speak through his word. We can hear him speak through our conscience, okay? We can hear the Father speak through our spirits, okay? So we need to have peace in our minds, okay? And the Father can jump on board with us, okay? So God bless your hearts. What am I saying in a nutshell? We need to train ourselves to think in a way that is better. We need to train ourselves to think in a way that brings the Father on the scene, okay? We can't have these thoughts of destruction. We can't have destructive thoughts running in our minds because they will bring us to ruin, okay? Our thoughts will lead us down a pathway we don't want to go, okay? But if we have better thoughts, good thoughts, okay, constructive thoughts, positive thoughts, if we think the thoughts that the Bible is telling us to think, which is good thoughts, then the Father jumps on board with us and he will help us. He is our help in our time of trouble, is he not? He is. Amen. So God bless your hearts. Thank you for staying with me. God bless you. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do, and check out our other messages. I'm sure that they will bring a blessing to you. Share with your friends and your families, okay? God bless your hearts. Bye bye.